All right, let's set up El Clasico, 10:15 a.m. on Sunday. Real Madrid at home. They're plus 125 at Bet365. Barcelona plus 210. The draw here is plus 260. Pretty sure I know where this conversation's going. We always talk about how Real Madrid is a bit of a tough nut to crack because they're always overperforming compared to their underlying metrics. Well, they're running into Barcelona, who are superb. They had one wonky result a couple weeks ago, but everything under the hood looks great for Xavi's boys. So 2 plus 210, I think Barcelona's worth a bet here, Anthony.
I wouldn't say everything looks great under the hood. They've got a bunch of defensive injuries. They looked pretty bad defensively today against Inter in the Champions League. This is something we talked about on the last pod, the Champions League preview pod. We talked about how Barcelona's defense has been overperforming and was due to concede a ton of goals, and they let 3 in, and they could have let 4 or 5 in, if we're being honest. Inter was some shocking decision-making in the final third, but that was a thriller. But I think Real Madrid, you kind of have the overrated Real Madrid attack against the overrated Barca defense. I don't know how I want to get at this from a betting point of view. I thought we'd get plus a half on Barca. I'd bet them if we did. We didn't. I may wait a little bit here on the market and see where it ends up. I also might play just a BTS at over 2.5 and be square and just take the over, because I do think there's going to be a lot of back and forth in this game between two pretty overrated defenses, especially with the Barca injuries and Real just never defending anything. If you watch the second half against Vigo that Barca played last weekend, they conceded over 1.5 expected goals. They easily could have been conceding more. And now they're playing in a Real team, which, they're overrated, but they're still very good. So it's a danger zone here.
BJ, any thoughts here on El Clasico before we take roll around the rest of Spain?
Yeah, I do show a little bit of value on Barcelona north of 2-1. It's like Anthony mentioned, it's interesting because you look through Barcelona's schedule, like they have their biggest tests have come, 2 matches against Inter and then against Bayern Munich. The match against Bayern Munich, I can't remember who said it on Twitter, but essentially, Bayern essentially took a standing 8 count and then delivered a 7th round knockout. So the thing with Barcelona is that, yes, they lost to Bayern Munich. Yes, they lost to Inter. And then, they obviously had some defensive problems today, but that last match against Inter, Inter only created 0.2 expected goals. Like they didn't really do much in the entire match. Now I worry here for Barcelona, like Anthony mentioned, with the defensive injuries, and the Barcelona wingbacks can get exploited pretty badly here by Vinicius Jr. Karim Benzema is also back for Real Madrid. They had a sleepy match against Shakhtar in the midweek, but from a price point perspective, since Xavi took over, Barcelona has been considerably better on XG than Real Madrid in La Liga. Real Madrid has been good in La Liga defensively, but let's be honest, they have not played a difficult schedule whatsoever. And even through the Champions League, they haven't played a difficult schedule. Like this is they haven't played a team to the level of Barcelona yet. So now you have to ask that question: is Real Madrid ready for this type of test? I'm not so sure. So I do actually like Barcelona at plus 210 on the money line.